Hello, QGIS community, and thank you for having us at QGIS North America. Also, thanks to Miki for inviting us here. My name is Marta, and I'm a product designer at GIS Cloud. And with me here today is Igor. He's our head of growth, and he's also a GIS specialist. So, okay, before we jump into the specifics of the plugin, Igor, can you maybe tell us why would someone even use GIS Cloud?
Yeah, thank you, Marta, for the lovely introduction, and thank you all for joining the session, and of course, thank you, Miki, for inviting us. Great question. Yeah, definitely. So basically, we are a collaborative mapping solution for the entire workflow of your organization. And maybe what I'd like to stress the most is that we are focusing on that collaborative part and focusing on different roles that someone has in their organization. So that's why we kind of stress the entire part, right? How we are trying to do that is when you're dealing with people who are not in GIS world, let's call it like that, who are not GIS advanced users, you need to make sure that the data and the maps that you prepare for them are, in an environment that they actually understand. So when we first started, our first and main goal was to try and fix this with this. It kind of resonates with all people who want to use spatial applications, right? Because you as GIS users, you understand this, right? You know how to use this and you use it on a daily basis, and it's not a problem for you. Now, when we think about different roles in an organization, when you have different workflows, then basically you need to understand that there are field workers, there are people that are in finance or stakeholders, people who need to view maps. So first and foremost, you have to make sure that the environment they use is understandable, that is user-friendly. So when we first started working with customers, we kind of learned that spatial data definitely comes out of GIS departments. So you have those advanced users, but then you have others in the organization who need to consume the data. So we kind of built 4 different main applications that are kind of targeted to those roles in those organizations. So as you can see here, we have map editors for advanced users. We have a mobile data collection for field workers who can then start collecting data in the field, but also then a viewer simple application for people who only need to view the data in a private mode, but also through a more user-friendly application as well. And then definitely you have the public who needs to access maybe public data, but also through a more customized user-friendly environment as well. And it's definitely really worth to know that it has to be completely secure and private, but also public if needed as well. As you all probably know, GIS can be used across all industries, and spatial data is something that you have to understand and have when making decisions in all types of commercial businesses that you have. But we pride ourselves most on the use cases and the stories that we build with nonprofit organizations and people that actually improve human lives on a daily basis.
So now we can concentrate on our Publisher for QGIS plugin. And today we want to present to you what Publisher can do for you. And also we have another workflow. Once you have used the Publisher to transfer your maps and data into GIS Cloud, then you can also use WFS, so Web Feature Service, to consume your data from GIS Cloud directly into QGIS. And then we will show you a live demo of this entire workflow. We will also show you how you can collect the data in the field and view your collected data features directly in your QGIS project using WFS. So why we developed this plugin? We have talked to our users as well as QGIS users, and they said they wanted a seamless desktop and online workflow to be able to collaborate on many different levels using also extensive desktop solutions as well as online solutions for collaborations. And so they said they wanted to be able to publish their QGIS maps projects online to easily share data with coworkers. Some of them want to only publish a part of their project because projects often can be quite heavy, large. They also wanted to preserve symbology. This was very important when transferring the data from QGIS to GIS Cloud. And they wanted to work on maps in real time. What they also wanted to achieve is to control the access to online maps or to particular layers so they can streamline their workflows. And also, if they continue to work on their projects in QGIS, they wanted to sync the changes with the online map Some of them also wanted to have multiple versions of the same map in GIS Cloud. So we listened to their needs and we tried to implement everything they wanted, and we achieved even more. So now we have a plugin that enables QGIS users to publish their vectors, rasters, WMS, WFS, and symbology. You can upload the entire map or just a few layers. You can also update only a few layers or entire map. It all depends on your workflow. You can give a name to your map. You can decide to upload it as a private or public map. If you decide to upload it as a private map, you can change it to a public map later in GIS Cloud as well. And as I said, you can update all changes you have made to a map or a specific layer, upload a new version of the map to GIS Cloud, and share your maps. If your map is public, you can share it instantly. Just copy and paste URL link to your colleague. Or if your map is private, then you have to share through this form with permissions to view and edit. You can also even publish some QGIS analysis if you first save them as rasters. The plugin is compatible with QGIS 3 and 2, and it is connected via a secure connection. After we have implemented all this for publishing maps and data, users said they wanted to consume some GIS Cloud data directly in QGIS. And now you can do all these things. You can collect data directly into QGIS. You can see the collected data in the real time appearing in QGIS and in GIS Cloud at the same time. You can edit the data as well. So this is what we'll show you now in our live presentation.
Yeah, so I think this is something that's a lot of you have probably been waiting for. Like Marta mentioned, with the publisher, you can finally publish your maps from QGIS to GIS Cloud. But now with WFS, you can finally go the other way around and keep the data in GIS Cloud and then have all the functionality of QGIS, but still have data in one place. Exciting news, exciting news. So Marta, please show us.
I am now in QGIS. I have prepared a map here with a couple of basic layers, some buildings and roads. And now I will log in with my GIS Cloud account into the GIS Cloud Publisher. Okay, so because my map is already, ready, I will just go ahead and publish my map to GIS Cloud. And I have designated here that I want to publish all layers. I can also choose to publish only visible layers. And if I uncheck one of those layers, that layer will not be published to GIS Cloud. So let's publish my map. I'll make my map to be private, and now I will publish it. And as you can see, it goes quite quickly. We are almost done. Okay, great. So now I have to save this project so I can update it later if I change something. And let's open this map in GIS Cloud. I have already logged in, so it didn't ask for my credentials, but you have to enter your credentials to be logged in. And here is our map.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, great.
Looks the same.
Yeah, all the symbology has been transferred successfully, and that's great. So now I want to show you that if I want, I can share this map with Igor very easily. So this is a private map, and that's why I have to use my form for sharing and publishing, and I can allow Igor to edit my map, and I can also allow Igor to collect into my map and update on collected data. Okay, so we have done that, and I will just show you that if you change something in QGIS, it will also update in GIS Cloud. So let's change the color, for instance, of the buildings. Let's make it, I don't know, green. Okay. So now you have seen that the publisher has prompted you to update your published map. And if you click here, it will again ask you to choose which layers you want to update, and I'll update the entire map now. Save my project again, and open map in GIS Cloud. So just opened in another tab, but you will see this is actually the same map. Okay, so now that I have published my map to GIS Cloud, let's see if this can work both ways. So we now want to show you how you can also collect data into GIS Cloud and directly into QGIS. And for these purposes, we have prepared a form for data collection. And Igor will tell you a bit more about what we are just about to show you.
Yeah, great. So like we said at the beginning, the publisher part is actually the starting point. Obviously, you have a project in QGIS, now you publish it to GIS Cloud. But now what we want to do is we want to, let's say, build a data collection project, for example, in GIS Cloud. So we want to create a completely new table that will be in GIS Cloud database, and then see if we can actually consume that data as a WFS in QGIS. And why we would want to do that, because in QGIS I can then do maybe some advanced analysis or advanced edits, for example. But let's see if that's actually possible. So what we did, like Marta said, prepare the data collection table and a form. So if we go to the database, we prepared a small demo for trees, for example. We have a lot of customers actually that do tree inspection. Now this table is completely empty, so it zoomed us to the equator, coordinate 0, 0, right? But no worries. What we'll do next is we will start collecting data and fill in some points. Okay, so what Marta doing right now, she's connecting the form with the layer. So instead of filling in simple text data, I as a collector will actually need to populate the form according to the predefined values, for example. Okay, so Marta, can you share me the presenter's options so I can share my screen as well?
Yes, of course. I just wanted to remind our audience that I have previously granted Igor with collecting permissions, and you can see here that he can use mobile data collection app to collect data into my map. So now I will share the screen to Igor.
Okay, let me see. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, now what I'd like to do is show you how this actually looks like in our data collection application that we built. If I go and log in, I can go to maps and layers and refresh the list because it's a newly created map. And then I can choose the map and see, okay, the name of the map is GIS Cloud WFS. When I open the form, and this is where the magic happens, you can start filling in the data according to the custom form that we've previously created. So for example, the first field is, okay, let's say name of the tree, let's call it tree 1. Then we can say, we can choose the type. We kind of define, okay, we want to have small, medium, tall trees. And of course, you can have as many predefined values as you need. This is a custom form. You can change at any time as well. So this is the beauty of having a tool like this. Okay, let's go to the next field called issues. Let's say that we have some bugs there. And let's see if I can take a photo as well. So we call this screen inception. And then I click send. Now you can see there's number 1 in under Q tab, which disappeared right now. This means that you can actually collect data in offline mode as well. Now, if we go back to Marta's screen, she should see a point on a map at my location. And note, we're not at the same location at the moment. So you'll probably see my hometown now. Marta, can you take over the screen?
Yeah, sure. I also collected some data in the field. And let me see now if we refresh this map. Let's see. Okay, we have some points here. I'm in Zagreb, so Igor is 100 kilometers apart in Koprivnica.
Maybe we should talk in miles.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. What did Igor collect? Can you see your photo? Okay, here it is. And let's see mine. I also collected bugs.
Nice. Okay. We have a lot of bugs.
So this
you took a photo yourself?
Yeah, just to say hi, because we can't be all together at this, in the same space right now because of this COVID situation. I can at least say hi. Okay. So now that we have successfully collected the data into our map, we can you have collected a couple of more.
Yeah, I've been busy. I've been actually sending more points.
Okay, great. I also have been sending some data your way. So we have a couple of more, points on our map. So first time we have collected data, we used GPS. That's why our points are so far apart. And then we use the pinpoint tool just to have centered our data. So now you can see how many 4 points here. Just let us reload once more just to be certain.
I added a couple more.
Yes, and then if we zoom out, we will be able to see even more. And so let's now consume this data and continue to collect data into QGIS.
Perfect.
Okay, so we have to go to the share and publish form and click on the WFS. And now you have here this link, which you have to copy, and then you go to QGIS.
Just to add one thing that is important, currently, if you want to be able to consume WFS layer in QGIS, you need to share the actual map with edit privileges to the user who will consume it. So that's one important step that you need to make.
Okay, so now I'm naming this layer. I will also authenticate this data so that I can edit the data as well.
And the username and the password is actually the username and the password of your GIS Cloud account.
If you don't use your username and data, you will be able to see the data, but you will not be able to edit them.
Only if the map is public.
Yes, if the map is public, right? Okay, let's add this layer. Okay, here we go. We have successfully added the layer. Great. So this is our layer. Let's see how many features we have here. 8 features. If I zoom out a bit, okay, I can maybe even edit the symbology to make it a bit bigger so we can see the data better. Okay.
And also, in the meantime, while you're doing this, I'm still collecting the data just to see if you'll be able to see the new points coming in QGIS directly.
Okay, great. Let's see. Is there something new? Okay.
Oh, there it is. It's actually real time. I did it like 2 seconds ago.
Okay, great. So you have seen that we had here only 8 features, and now we have 9 because Igor added another point through mobile data collection. It's the same as in GIS Cloud. You can see here all the attributes, and if I want, I can also edit these attributes.
Now, this is extremely important. Let's see if you can actually change the attributes.
So I will put here something different than what we had in our form, just to more easily find my edits here in QGIS. Also, I have edited this first point that Igor has sent. Okay, so now I will save layer edits. And now let's see how does the map in GIS Cloud look like. Okay, so I have edited this point that Igor has sent from Koprivnica. Okay, so you can see here that what we edited in QGIS is exactly replicated in GIS Cloud instantly. And as I have entered the wrong information, this is here accentuated.
One other thing that's extremely powerful when you have a form attached to a layer, it gives you all the data that's not added correctly, for example.
So you can see here also.
Can we do another test? Can you try to add a point through QGIS and see if that point will appear in GIS Cloud?
Sure. So let's add a new point somewhere halfway through.
Okay.
Let's
Save
go.
edits.
Save edits, right? And now let's see what happens in GIS Cloud. Okay, here it is. You have these 2 points we have created in QGIS, and our form is empty here and here as well. And now we can, if we wish, we can edit attributes.
And it still keeps the form attached to it, so you can actually select from the predefined values that we had in the custom form. It's the same form that you saw in mobile data collection.
Okay, so this is a hidden field. It just collects username. And let's save this. And let's see if this is also visible in QGIS. So I only edited one of those features.
So this one is empty.
Okay.
And this one has the information.
Yeah, great. So just remember, you always have to refresh your map and data to be able to see what's new.
Yeah, that's a good hint. If you want to refresh WFS layers, you can hit F5.
So just to conclude, we have shown you how our GIS Cloud Publisher works. It is quite powerful, yet very simple to use. You can publish your data, update data, and transfer your symbology just as you have set it up. And then you can also use WFS to consume your GIS Cloud data directly into QGIS. And you don't have to have the GIS Cloud Publisher to use WFS and vice versa. You can use either, or you can use them together, because we think this is kind of a perfect workflow, connecting all the dots, from your desktop, complex tools which allow you to do analysis and, some complex operations which you can't do in the online tools. But online tools are here to power your collaboration, be able to assign different tasks to different roles, and to control who sees what data set and who can do what with data.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And obviously, looking forward to is to hear your feedback on this. And if you have any questions, we can answer them right now, obviously, but we are always available. So please don't hesitate to get in touch.
Hi, I guess we are streaming live now. We already answered a lot of your questions. Maybe there are some more we haven't answered yet. Maybe Igor, you want to take over the question about the licensing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good to see a lot of questions. Hopefully the presentation was interesting. Yeah, so the price, the publisher is for free. I believe, Marta, you already mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we have a free plan as well, so you can always test it out and see how it works for you. We do have a premium service as well, absolutely. And if you're interested in that part, we can definitely get in touch and we can discuss more about your needs.
Yeah, great. And thank you. We are very pleased you like the presentation. About this question, if we can see the photo in QGIS, we haven't tried that, but I guess this should be possible. Igor, maybe do you know more about this?
So there are some extensions outside of GIS Cloud that enable you to do this, but for now, reviewing photos is available only in GIS Cloud at this moment.
Okay. And can they attach image in QGIS? I guess that's the question.
Yeah, so you should be able to edit the attributes in any way you want to. They should be seen as text images in GIS Cloud though. But yeah, good question. It's a fairly new extension, so a lot more to come in the future. So you can expect a lot from us.
So there are 3 questions in one, as I said. How do you handle mobile device being offline? Can you upload data to cloud later? Yes, of course. Do you receive updates from cloud automatically back on connection? Yes, but it's best if you refresh the map just to be certain that you have received all the data in QGIS. But it's actually automatically, I think. And how do we handle mobile device being offline?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we have offline mode and offline maps as well. So you can actually download the data that you have in GIS Cloud to your mobile device, and in that way navigate yourself on top of that map. So we have it all, I'd say. But the best way to see how it works is actually to test it. And if you go to our website, which is giscloud.com, create an account, you can see it for yourself.
Okay. There's also one question regarding the licensing. With free version, does maps are public for everybody? Are maps public for everybody? Well, if the version is free, if the map is public, then everybody can see them, everybody can view them. And then if you use, but for you to use WFS, you need to have a premium version of map editor.
I think it's really important to note that all the maps are private by default. Of course, privacy is a huge thing when you publish your map. So primarily we work with private maps, and then if you want to make it public, of course, you can do that as well.
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you to Dino, who was answering your questions. He's our CEO. He's behind the platform. He's actually engineer behind the HTML5 map engine. So I see this question, is it correct that it uses a custom API, leaflet, and vector tiles? Maybe Dino will answer that one. Or Igor, if you know maybe something about this.
My guess is yes, but of course we'll be in touch and we'll give you a full answer.
Great. Well, I hope we answered all of your questions. If we missed some, you can always contact us via our email. And we are very happy you like the presentation. We tried to develop a plugin that will suit your needs, and we think that this workflow with WFS, which allows you to consume your data in QGIS, is great, because then you have actually the entire circle. You have rounded your workflow entirely. Okay, there's another question. Are there plans for any dev API options to use same type of cloud functionality from third-party app software?
Always. We're always having new plans, and the great part is that we're greatly influenced by the feedback that we get from customers. So if you'd like, let's be in touch and see what we can do for you.
Okay. And also, is it possible to switch between layers in a map if you are working in offline mode?
Yeah, you should be able to switch between the different data collection projects that you have. More about the specifics, of course, we can get in touch.
Great, thank you guys so much for this presentation. We're gonna have to switch over to the next set of sessions now, but we really appreciate this, and it's so much fun to learn about all these different tools. So thank you very much, and thank you everyone for joining us on YouTube.
Thank you again. Thank you for having